these two witnesses? Okay. You have your outline. I laid it out. Internal evidence suggests that it's Elijah and Moses. Why? If you look at verses 5 and 6a, it talks about how these two witnesses have the power to do what? Shut up the sky and bring fire down from heaven on their witnesses. Who was the prophet that could do that? Elijah. He caused the rain to stop for how long?
42 months.
42 months. Oh, wow.
3.5 years.
Oh, that comes back again. Okay. And Elijah was also the prophet who called fire from heaven on his enemies. Now, what's the other prophet? Moses, verses 6b. They have the power to turn the water to blood and bring any plague they want onto the land. Who does that sound like?
Moses.
Did Moses do that? Okay. What other evidence is there? Evelyn said it. The Transfiguration. Who appeared with Jesus on his Transfiguration? Moses and Elijah. Why these two men? Yes, they represent the law and the prophets. Who's the law?
Moses.
Who are the prophets? Elijah. Even though Elijah doesn't have a book of the Bible named after him, he is the second most revered prophet of all of Israel, even to this very day. What do you mean to this very day? Anyone who's been to a Jewish home for Passover, what do they have seated there in an empty chair?
They have a separate.
What's that called?
Elijah's chair.
The chair of Elijah. Every Jew during Passover, no matter where they are in the world, sets a spot for Elijah because they're waiting for Elijah to come back, because they know when Elijah comes, the Messiah will follow right after him. So every Jew wants to be prepared in case he comes knocking at the door. They'll have a place for him at Passover. Now, where did they get this idea? Malachi chapter 4, verses 5 and 6. It says, before the great day of the Lord, I will send my prophet Elijah. Jesus already told us Elijah has already come. Matthew 13. Who was this Elijah? John the Baptist was the Elijah was to come, because he prophesied, and who came right after him? Jesus. That was the Messiah. The trouble with John the Baptist was what? Why didn't the Jews accept it? What didn't John the Baptist do that Elijah did? Miracles, dramatic public miracles. John the Baptist performed none. If Elijah is to come, you better believe there's going to be fire falling from heaven and the whole 9 yards again. Elijah was a dramatic prophet to call the people back to faith in God during the reign of the most wicked king of all of Israel. Who was that wicked king? He also commanded a ship looking for a white quail. Ahab, right.
I know it's letter A. I just don't.
Threw in a little Moby Dick there. Just Ahab, and who was his infamous wicked wife? Jezebel. I was going to say Betty Davis, but no, I'm not going to go there. Jezebel, yes. Elijah prophesied in Israel's darkest days. That gives you a little clue also to this witnesses at the end of time also. Just letting you know. Real quick, I want to also add this. We talked about the law and the prophets. Read in advance Luke 16, 19 through 31. In addition to doing your quiz that you didn't do, your homework, where is it? Luke?
Already. You know, I haven't learned all these skills.
Luke 16, 19 through 31. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want you to read it and see how it relates to these two witnesses. How's this going to relate? I'll give you a hint. This is not the transfiguration according to Luke. It's not that. It's something else. You have to read and find out. And next week, we're going to delve into the identity of these two witnesses according to church tradition as literal figures that will appear at the end of time. And what do these two witnesses mean beyond that? In other words, we don't see those two witnesses now, so do they have any meaning for us now? Absolutely. And so what do they mean for us now? You're going to have to come back next week. God bless you.
Thank you. See you, Chip.
Yes.